Yeah, it's been a little minute, but guess who's back? It's your boy, Sean Hubbard, with another episode of HUBBanomics. It is Friday, November 8th, 2024, a couple of weeks from AEW Full Gear, a couple of weeks from Survivor Series 2024 War Games. Once again, my name is Sean Hubbard, and I'm the host and founder of HWWeekly, as well as the co-founder and co-host of Clash of the Podcast every Monday night at 6:05 Eastern Standard Time with my tag team partner, my brother from another mother, Conrad Cushman. So here's the deal, y'all. HUBBanomics has been on pause for a little bit. Well, I'm going to get back in the swing of things. Most of my energy has been dedicated to the website. Make sure you go to www.HWWeekly.com. And more time than that dedicated to Clash of the Podcast with Conrad on 6:05 Monday nights. But I want to get back into the HUBBanomics swing of things because there's something very important, especially on this episode, 11/8/2024, as it relates to all elite wrestling. Not trying to steal the thunder from my brother Conrad Cushman because this is kind of his thing. Make sure you check out him and my guy Derek on Wednesday nights on the EPW channel as they review AEW every Wednesday night. But I have to kind of jump on this bandwagon and really, really dig into the premise of what I see going on in the wrestling community right now. A lot more than what should be going on. It's actually very concerning and very annoying. I'll even take it there. It's very annoying at this point. And that is the hatred, the unwarranted hatred that I see spewed over social media, spewed over the internet as it relates to all elite wrestling. Let me tell you something. I grew up in the 1990s. WWE was my show. I'm not going to deny that. The World Wrestling Federation, now World Wrestling Entertainment, was my show. I don't pretend that it wasn't. I still watch old school wrestling on the network, on Peacock, because I love it. I love what the World Wrestling Federation, now World Wrestling Entertainment, was. And there are a few instances in the modern day, present day product that I love. Obviously, it's no surprise. I'm a big Jey Uso fan. I'm a big Bloodline fan, OG Bloodline, that is. A big Seth Rollins fan. The list goes on and on. And we understand, ladies and gentlemen, that all elite wrestling will forever be a promotion that came after World Wrestling Entertainment. It's a young, upstart company that is now in its 5th year of operation. Okay, we get that. Nobody's trying to say that AEW is better than WWE, is more successful than WWE, makes more money than WWE, has more fans than WWE. Nobody's saying that, okay? But what I will not go along with, and what I will not allow, at least not when I'm on these airwaves, is for people to say that AEW is a failure, that AEW can't even compete on any level with World Wrestling Entertainment. Have you lost your minds? You really must have lost your minds. If you're going to sit up here with a straight face and tell me that AEW is a crap product? It's pathetic how people say such things. I'm going to keep with the Hubbard Wrestling Weekly HUBBanomics theme and keep this to 20 minutes or less. But trust me when I tell you, I can talk about this for days. And we have and will talk about it continually on Clash of the Podcast with Conrad Cushman and Sean Hubbard on Monday nights at 6:05. First of all, WWE in the present day ain't that damn good. Okay? Let's start with that. It's not that freaking good. That's for starters, okay? Triple H taking over for the former owner of the company, he's not doing that much better of a job. I don't want to hear about how WWE has had more gross income, that they're setting all kind of gross records as it relates to gates and ticket sales. Hello, McFly. If you don't know what Hello, McFly means, look it up. Back to the Future. Hello, McFly. The reason why they're setting new gate records is because the prices are ridiculously high. If you go to Madison Square Garden, and we know, I'm just guesstimating here, that for a wrestling show, Madison Square Garden can hold 19,000 people. They held 19,000 people. Again, this is just a guesstimation. Don't hold me to the number of 19,000. Just roll with what I'm trying to say. The point is going to be made. If Madison Square Garden holds 19,000 people, they held 19,000 people 2 years ago. So when WWE made another round guesstimated figure, 500,000 or whatever crazy number let's take a nice round low number so we can just make this easy. If WWE made $100,000 at MSG, and then they made $200,000 at MSG in the same place with the same amount of seats, what does that tell you? Does that tell you that the product has gotten better? Are there imaginary seats that are now there that weren't there before? No, goofy. That means that WWE raised its ticket prices. And what that also means is when you raise your ticket prices, the gross goes up. The money that comes in as it relates to ticket sales goes up. If I sell you a candy bar for $1, and then I sell you that same candy bar for $1.25, that means I made more money because I raised the prices. It doesn't make the caramel any better. It doesn't make the chocolate any better. It doesn't make the nougat any better. It doesn't make the peanuts any better. It's the same candy bar. What are we not understanding about this, people? It's the same show. It's the same product. It's the same television experience. It's the same in-person experience. It's the same thing. I don't want to hear about ticket sales anymore. I'm sick of it. It's the most ridiculous, one-sided argument that WWE is better than AEW that I've ever heard. It's ludicrous. It is ridiculous. When are we going to get to a point where we stop falling for this crap? Now, I will say this. AEW's attendance is down. Why? I don't know. Okay? I'm not going to pretend that it's not concerning that they're not able to sell these shows. They're very easily and very successfully selling their pay-per-views. People show up in droves for their pay-per-views. However, for the weekly shows, not so much. Is that a problem? Yes. But does that mean that AEW sucks? No! It doesn't mean AEW sucks because they're having trouble selling tickets. Is it a problem that could bite them in the behind later on? Is it a problem that can make them be in an uncomfortable position? Yes. I'm not denying that, okay? But it doesn't mean that AEW sucks. All Elite Wrestling does not suck. All Elite Wrestling, I've said it before, and I'll say it again, okay? New Japan Pro Wrestling, for many years, I called the best bell-to-bell product in the world. That means from the time the bell rings to start the match to the time the bell rings to end the match, it is the best in-ring product in the world. And now, in 2024, I have said, and I've said it for about the last 2 years now on Clash of the Podcast, I believe All Elite Wrestling is the best bell-to-bell product in the world today. It is the best in-ring product of professional wrestling that is being produced and distributed across these airwaves on a weekly basis. Point blank, period. Does it have the same production value as WWE? No. Does it have the same viewership as WWE? No. But it is the best in-ring bell-to-bell product in the world today. And I'd be hard-pressed to find someone that can dispute what I just said. Yes, Seth Rollins is one of the best practitioners of wrestling in the world today. Yes, Cody Rhodes, as corny as he is, woe with me, what a loser. But anyway, I digress, because I still love Bullet Club Cody Rhodes, so I'll be respectful. Cody Rhodes is one of the best in-ring practitioners in the world today. There are a few others, okay, in WWE. But my God, when you talk about Ricochet, when you talk about, and Ricochet, I told you before, Ricochet can't talk his way out of a wet paper bag. That brother needs help with the promos, but I'm talking about bell to bell. So when you talk about Ricochet, when you talk about Will Ospreay, when you talk about Takeshita, when you talk about the Young Bucks, when you talk about Swerve Strickland, we're talking about some of the best wrestlers alive, and they're all in AEW. So if AEW has the best bell-to-bell product in the industry, how can you with a straight face say AEW sucks, AEW's trash, AEW shouldn't be on TV? Let me tell you something. AEW is the best thing that could have ever happened to a WWE fan. Because you know how I said when this episode first started that WWE has been moderately okay, that they have little glimpses of being okay in the modern day, even though I think it's still for the most part a weak product, but there's glimpses, there's moments here and there where they do pretty good. Do you know why those glimpses and moments where they do pretty good exist? It's because of AEW. Do you know what one of the worst things that could have happened to the wrestling industry happened? One of the worst things in the world that happened to the wrestling industry in 2001 is when WCW went out of business. When World Championship Wrestling went out of business in 2001 and the former owner of WWE bought WCW, everybody was like, oh, this is great. Oh, this is fantastic. Oh, I'm so happy. Why are you happy? There's no more competition, which means WWE does not have any reason to put their best foot forward. Thank God AEW arrived on the scene in 2019. Thank God AEW has given WWE a reason to give a crap. Because for a long time, they didn't. Let's be real. For a long time, WWE did not give a crap because WWE knew they were the only game in town, at least as it relates to American promotions. No disrespect to TNA, no disrespect to House of Glory, MLW, but everybody knew that the big daddy, as they call it, the granddaddy of them all, was WWE. And it still is to this day. But thank God that AEW exists. Because now that AEW exists, it gives WWE at least a semblance of a reason to give a crap about the crappy product they were putting on television for many years. From 2001 through 2019, there were only glimpses. Yes, there were glimpses. There were glimpses like Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. There were glimpses like Kofi Kingston and Kofi Mania. There were glimpses like the Yes Movement, and there were several other glimpses. But as far as having a weekly product that was must-see television that the whole world wanted to watch, like in the Attitude Era, no, it was not there. It was inconsistent at best. And AEW has given WWE a reason to step up their game. You should be thankful that AEW exists. You should be thankful that AEW is in the mix now that gives WWE a reason to not always take their foot off the gas. And by the way, they still do take their foot off the gas from time to time. Oh, yes, they do. Because I don't understand, not to be rude, not to be disrespectful, but you know what? This reemergence of the War Raiders is not making me jump out of my seat. The Final Testament is not making me jump out of my seat. The Wyatts, which I think are very good and have a lot of potential, but the Wyatt Six attacking people like the Alpha Academy and The Miz is not making me jump out of my seat. But you know what makes me jump out of my seat? Dream matches like Ospreay versus Ricochet. Dream matches like Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Page. That makes me jump out of my seat. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Was I happy that my guy, and nobody could ever say that anybody but Sean Hubbard started the Jey Uso bandwagon? You don't believe me? Go into the Clash of the Podcast archives. I'm the one who started the Jey Uso bandwagon. I'm the one who's driving the Jey Uso bandwagon. So yes, Jey Uso, awesome. Love the guy. Awesome. Top tier. Top tier. But Jey Uso's on TV, 15 minutes a week? What about the other hour and 45 minutes? Or better yet, 2 hours and 45 minutes once the new year comes. Oh, but you know what? Here comes The Rock. Here comes more Cody Rhodes also. Yeah, WWE's great. The bottom line is this, guys. Both companies, undoubtedly, both companies have something that we want to watch, and both companies have things that they are lacking. WWE is number one when it comes to production value. WWE is number one when it comes to viewership. But WWE is not number one when it comes to in-ring competition. And WWE is certainly not the one, as I prepare to end this episode, and thank you guys for tuning in for this latest edition of Clash of the Podcast. They are certainly, WWE, not the ones who listen to the fans, because it took them forever to give Jey Uso the Intercontinental Championship. But yet, the fans scream out for Private Party in AEW. And what do? 3 weeks later, 2 weeks later, they're the World Tag Team Champions, because some people, like AEW, believe that the fans and what they want should actually matter. So all I'm saying is this. You want to like WWE? Like WWE. You want to like whatever promotion you want to like them. Enjoy them. But stop running AEW in the ground, because as I say this and I take my leave, and I'll talk to you on Monday night with Conrad on Clash of the Podcast, I will leave you with this, and I'll talk to you on Monday. At the end of the day, to coin a phrase or to copy a coin phrase, and I want you to hear this and hear it really well, AEW is best for business. God bless. Be encouraged. Evil never prevails. Peace out.